The Johnsky is a YouTube channel run by and run for people over the age of 13. People under the age of 13 should click off of this video right now, or watch with a parent or guardian. Viewer discretion is advised.
You don't scare me!
Mills is freaking today, militiamen. My name is King Prime, and welcome back to another video here on the YouTube channel. Today, just before I get started with the review, I want to apologize if you hear any fans in the background. It is currently a little bit hot where I am at right now, so I'm cooling down. There's a fan on me right now. But today, we're going to be taking a look at the brand new Star Wars Vintage Collection of The Mandalorian Axe Woves. How do I go about this the 50th time? We have the nice Mandalorian trades there, done in the deep red that we are used to with these vintage collection figures. We have a yellow backing for the background of the figure. Of course, a very nice picture of Simon Cassanides there as Axe. You can see him, doing things on that freighter in episode 4 of the Mandalorian Season 2? Can't really remember, but it's Axe Woves. We like Axe. He's a cool guy. Counter trades down here. On the back, we have the other figures in the wave or have been released recently. We have the Mithril here, who I have, Quill, who I have, Bib, who I'll have at some point, Lobot, who was my second to last vintage collection review. We have Koska, we have Bo, we have Axe, so all three of the figures in here are now complete. I have all three of them, obviously, and I have Migs Mayfield as well. So all of those figures you can buy. I say it in every single review. I will say it even more. You only really care about this packaging if you're a card collector. I'm not. I'm here to review a figure. Freeze frame. Freeze frame unfreeze, and here is the figure himself. First and foremost, let's take a look at his detailing. So getting nice and close here, we have the head sculpt, which is, it's okay. It has a decent similarity to Simon Cassanides. It's close enough. You can tell it's him from far away, but just looking at photos of him, even on the card, and then comparing it to the photos, just on Google, it's kind of there. You can kind of see it. It just kind of looks like Nick Jonas a little bit. I'm not going to lie. It looks a little bit too young. Maybe a young Simon Cassanides, but not Simon as our dear friend Axe right now, to say the least. Moving on, though, we have some very nice silver scratching details on a metallic silver chest plate there, as well as on his shoulders and on the collarbone armor pieces, which are very nice. Nothing on the back here, because this is mostly covered by the jetpack. He just has some regular Mandalorian gauntlets, no flamethrowers or anything fancy, whistling birds or anything like that. He has a nice dark russet colored belt there with a single holster with a belt buckle picked out in silver paint. Very nice. I love how the holster actually looks like leather. It's very cool. We also have the same detailing on his legs, although this is one thing I believe is inaccurate. I'm pretty sure that Axe does have symmetrical thigh pieces. This is just from the bottom down. This is the Death Watch Mando, this guy over here. Let me pull him in real quick. From the bottom down, he's just this guy, the Death Watch Mandalorian. You can tell that's what that is. Kind of disappointing. I was hoping they'd do at least a little bit of retooling for this figure, but I don't know why not. Same exact knee pieces that they use on that figure as well, and even the same boots, which is kind of disappointing, but you know what? We can live with it, I guess. It's just kind of disappointing. I did think, I believe that they were going to do a slight retool at least, but they didn't, which is disappointing. Moving on from that, we will have the accessories here. Let me just move Axe to the side. We have the removable helmet. Why they chose a removable helmet, I don't know. I'll throw it on him real quick, and you can see he does look like a fucking dope when you do that. His head is extremely huge, especially compared to the aforementioned Death Watch Mandalorian, who has a small head compared to him. In fact, every single Mandalorian I'll bring in here, Din Djarin has a very small head compared to him. Even Bo and Koska. Here's Bo, right? Look at that head compared to that one. Oops, sorry, I knocked the camera over there. And Koska all look very, proportionate, but for whatever reason, this guy has a bubble head, which is annoying. Why? I went over this problem briefly in the Boba Fett review, the deluxe Boba review. I just don't know why they keep using these removable helmets. This isn't 2010 anymore. Hasbro has made us well aware of that we're not going to get as many figures as we got back then. They're not going to make good decisions. So why they chose to make a removable helmet, I just don't know. I don't get it. I don't understand why, because they were doing so well with the swappable heads. I don't understand. But you know what? I might just display all these guys with their helmets off anyway, so it might not be that big of a problem for me. But for some people, I know I've seen Instagram and Facebook going absolutely ape shit about this helmet, so it's annoying. Also included is, of course, the jetpack, which is just the normal jetpack that we've been getting, the same exact one that we got with, you guessed it, the Death Watch Mando. In fact, it's almost the exact same shade of paint as well. It's just slightly different. The silver is a little bit duller on this, and paint is more muted on the Death Watch Mando than it is with Axe here. This does have the holes in the bottom, of course, so you can put the flame pieces that you got with Deluxe Boba in here. I'm not going to, though, because I think it's a waste of time. But you can do it. It's an option. Options are good, I guess, maybe. Unless you're dealing with this ridiculous figure. And one more thing. Going back to the removable helmets. They used this one, for whatever reason. This helmet sucks. This compared to Boba's, like, Boba has a removable helmet, and it's annoying because it's removable, but it's still in proportion with his face. Why is it so... I don't know. I'm just ranting at this point. And, it's fine. It's nerd rage. We get it. It happens. Also included with the figure is, of course, Axe's pistol, which is just a Westar pistol. Basic Mandalorian blaster that a lot of the new figures have. You can just shove that in his holster right there. Bada bing. Bada boom. Now he's strapped. He has the big iron. So, that's that. Let me shove his backpack on him. So, now moving on to articulation, we do have a dumbbell joint at the head. I wasn't able to tell because this joint was so stiff, but it is a dumbbell joint, so you can technically get but like his neck is really stiff. I don't know why they did it like this. There's a lot of questions I have about the design process of this figure and why they did the things they did, but they're never going to get answered, so I might as well just stop talking. We also have a full 360 range of motion at the shoulder, as well as a very deep hinge outwards, so you can get a full extension of both of his arms. He can T-pose and assert dominance on Bo-Katan. That's pretty good. Of course, you do have the notch into the torso, so you can put the armor piece from the shoulder in there, making that pose possible. You also have a deep elbow bend, which is very nice, which can also double as a swivel. You have an up and down joint at both wrists. This one is not an in and out. This one is an up and down, which is a decision that I've seen a lot on these Mandalorian figures, so it's not that surprising to me. You have a very good ab crunch, so he can do his reps. That's the one thing that this figure can do. He can do his reps. You do have rotation at the waist, just very limited because of the belt. You do have and mind the angle here, the very nice new ball-jointed hips, so you can get a nice range of articulation there, as well as a upper thigh cut, so you can get the swivel at the thigh. You also have a nice deep knee bend, which can also rotate at the top of the boot, which is very cool. That's a good piece of articulation there. I'm happy they included that with this otherwise subpar figure. The hinge at the ankle, which can go all the way out and about that far forward, and an ankle pivot. So overall, the articulation of this figure is its saving grace. Its details on the body and even the head sculpt is okay, but everything else is rabble. Okay, let's get on to the size comparison real quick. Freeze frame.
So, the villagers.
Freeze frame unfreeze. Here is Axe Woves, of course, next to his teammates. Here is Koska Reeves, who's just kind of in a pose there. Don't mind that. As well as Bo-Katan. He is very tall, as you can tell. In fact, let me just get them in front because there's going to be more figures that I'm going to add to this comparison. Of course, we have the Din Djarin figure. Here you can see he's taller than because of the comically oversized helmet. The Death Watch Mando, the one that saved Din as a child, as well as a custom Doughboy World War I inspired Mandalorian that I have done as a custom on my Instagram. You can go check that out if you really want to. And why not, we'll bring in the original, the OG, Boba Fett. So we have a nice shot there of a bunch of Mandalorian fellas and fella S's. That's a shot and a half. I want that to be my wallpaper. That's such a nice look. I like that a lot. Let's go on to the final thoughts. You can already probably guess what I'm going to say. Freeze frame.
Fuck you, Ray.
Freeze frame unfreeze. This figure is mid-sauce. You know it's mid-sauce. I know it's mid-sauce. There's so many things that could be improved on this figure. The sculpting is, I'm going to admit it, very lazy. This is quite literally just a copy and paste of the Death Watch Mandalorian with a fresh new coat of paint and a new head sculpt. Why they chose to give him the removable helmet, I have no idea. The only two saving graces of this figure are the detailing on it, which is very nice, and the articulation, which is also very good. But that doesn't really count because every single one of these new Mandalorian figures have been absolutely phenomenal. So, Axe, unfortunately, even though I do really like Axe Woves as a character, does fall to the absolute bottom of all of the recent Mandalorian figures that have come out. This guy's going to take a lot of customizing to be able to get up to par with what I like for my Mandalorian figures, which is unfortunate because, you know, I shouldn't have to do that. Hasbro should be providing. This is the first L that they've taken in a while, in my opinion, ever since Book of Boba, Deluxe Boba Fett. Whatever. Anyway, if you like Axe Woves, first of all, I'm sorry for the grading video. If you like the vintage collection, if you like Star Wars in general, if you like action figures, make sure you share this video with all your Facebook groups, all your Instagram pages, all that good stuff. If you like the content, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps out the channel, and I very much appreciate it. And as always, my friends, peace.
Oh!